Fetty Wap just dropped a raw prison track, and what he said in there got everybody talking. But what really caught my ear wasn't just the music, it was what he didn't say directly. Because behind the bars, Fetty's sending messages, and when you piece them together with what just happened to Tory Lanez, man, it start looking like foul play might have been involved, like straight up industry sabotage. And I ain't the only one peeping that. Fetty Wap, who's been locked up since 2022, just made his first official move in years. He dropped a new song from prison, and it sounds like he's reaching for more than just freedom. Word is, he's trying to get a presidential pardon by Christmas. That's a bold play. But what really stands out is the timing. Because while Fetty's rebuilding his image from the inside, Tory Lanez got stabbed 14 times in prison by a convicted murderer with a long rap sheet. Ain't no way that was random. So I dug into this, deep. From the moment Fetty got locked up to what he said in his XXL prison interview, to what really went down with Tory and all the mysterious silence from the industry elites who seemed real loud when he got convicted. I got everything: the raw prison politics, the unspoken beefs, the court cover-ups, and the coded industry warnings. So here's the deal. Fetty Wap just released his first song in 3 years. And yeah, it bangs. But the message behind it, that's what got people shook. In the lyrics, he alludes to redemption, second chances, and being a free man by Christmas 2025, which lines up with insider whispers that his legal team is seriously pursuing a presidential pardon. Now don't get it twisted, this ain't some publicity stunt. Fetty's case is federal. In May 2023, he was sentenced to 6 years in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to distribute over 500 grams of cocaine. And that ain't even the full story. Back in October 2021, the feds picked him up right before he was about to perform at Rolling Loud, New York. And they didn't just grab him on speculation. The FBI found 16 kilos of 2 kilos of heroin, fentanyl, guns, and over $1.5 million in cash. Like, this was serious kingpin-level charges. The feds even said it was a multi-state ring operating out of New Jersey and Long Island since 2019. His bond got revoked in 2022 when he allegedly threatened someone on FaceTime, calling him a rat and flashing a gun. That move alone made his chances of leniency real slim. But now, he's in prison reflecting, taking accountability, and reaching for something bigger. He said, "I take accountability for everything I did. I don't blame nobody. I'm just grateful I'm still here. I could have took music more serious instead of this route." Fetty's clearly making peace with his past. And in that same interview, he hinted that he's learning from folks in there doing 30, 50, even 120 years. That shook him. So now he's moving different, keeping his circle tight, cutting off snakes, and talking about how the system set him up when he was vulnerable. And let's be honest, the industry ain't built for black artists with no label backing. Fetty was already losing money, going through divorce, and getting robbed by his tour manager. I'll say maybe he only joined the drug game to support his family. Now here's where it gets real interesting. Around the same time Fetty was finding this clarity, Tory Lanez was facing the fight of his life. And just when Tory's team brought new evidence to prove he ain't shoot Megan, he got stabbed 14 times. Coincidence? Or was that a hit? Tory Lanez, born Daystar Peterson, is currently serving a 10-year sentence after being convicted for allegedly shooting Megan Thee Stallion. But y'all, you've been paying attention? That whole case was shaky from the jump. Now out of nowhere, Tory gets stabbed 14 times inside California Correctional Institution in Tehachapi. The alleged attacker? Santino Casio, a 42-year-old lifer with a record for attempted and 2 other deadly weapon assaults behind bars. Here's what we know. Casio been locked since 2004. He's not new to stabbing folks. And Tory? He's been locked up over 2 years with no prior prison incidents. So why now? Why him? Why this specific moment?
After over 2 years in prison without incident, Tory was stabbed 14 times just days after a major national news outlet reached out to Megan Pete's team, Kelsey Harris, and former DA George Gascon about a story on new evidence in this case.
Y'all already know what I'm thinking. He was targeted. Now check this. A few weeks before the stabbing, Tory's team presented new evidence in court claiming he was not the shooter and that Kelsey Harris, Megan's former best friend, actually fired the weapon.
They said DNA analysis showed that there was a 0.01% chance that Tory touched the actual gun itself.
There were 3 potential suspects in the car that night, and yet the only DNA sample was taken of Mr. Peterson, even though unknown DNA was found on the gun. Why wasn't Miss Harris's DNA taken.
There were 3 potential suspects, yet only Tory's DNA was tested. Not only that, word is Tory Lanez helped overturn a case for an inmate facing 4 life sentences through the Hands of God project with Unite the People.
My name is Ladaro Penix II, and I want to sincerely thank Unite the People, Tory Lanez, and the Hands of God project for helping me receive a reversal in my case. I was sentenced to 4 life sentences plus 74 years.
So now ask yourself, why would a dude like Casio, who ain't getting out, ever risk everything to go after Tory Lanez? He wouldn't, not unless somebody put a battery in his back. Now here's where things get dark. After Tory got stabbed, y'all noticed something weird? The whole industry went dead silent. No statements from major artists, no support from the same celebs who shouted, "Protect black women," when the Megan story dropped. Just crickets. But if you listen closely, the silence says everything. Tory Lanez wasn't just some artist caught in controversy. He was changing the game. Back in 2021, Tory dropped an NFT album, sold 1 million copies in under a minute, and made $1 million with 0 label involvement. Tory Lanez made $1 million in 57 seconds selling NFT albums for $1 each. No middleman, no label cut.
Y'all don't understand I just cracked the industry? Y'all don't understand I just cracked this? I just cracked this whole shit. It's cracked. It's over. I cracked the whole shit. It's over. It's over. No more middleman. All y'all artists out there, your label.
You think the labels was cool with that? Nah. Tory cracked the code, and the execs took that personal. So when the Megan situation popped off, the machine didn't waste time. They backed Meg, pushed narratives, did Tory as the villain before trial even began. Even now, while folks like 50 Cent and Aiden Ross are calling out the lies, the industry's still pretending like Tory don't exist.
She said, "Were you intimate with Tory Lanez?" And she said, "What?" And then it was like, "No." I was like, she lying.
It don't matter. She got caught stepping on glass in her body cam they just found. Tory had no evidence on that. Yeah. Tory didn't do it, I promise you.
Either way, I like him.
Good.
And his music, so
good. It's free Tory. It's always free Tory.
And then there's Roc Nation. Tory Lanez's name has been linked with Roc Nation ever since they started managing Megan. Some insiders believe they blackballed Tory behind the scenes, controlled the media spin, and used their power to push him out. I ain't saying Jay-Z himself ordered anything, but Tory, even Chris Brown, all been on the wrong side of Rock at one point. Take this. Tory and DDG dropped a track 5 months ago taking shots at them. Not long after, Tory gets stabbed, DDG gets accused of domestic abuse with no evidence. Coincidence again? Y'all see the pattern? And let's talk about the petition. Over 100,000 people signed a plea for Governor Gavin Newsom to pardon Tory after evidence showed no DNA, no fingerprints, and no residue linked him to the gun.
No DNA, no fingerprints, missing bullet fragments.
Even Unite the People, a non-profit legal group, is backing Tory and demanding the case be reopened.
That Mr. Peterson did not shoot Miss Pete, did not shoot at Miss Pete, or did not assault Miss Pete. It's just another irregularity in a list of irregularities in this case.
His lawyers say Megan's ex-bestie Kelsey fired the gun, not Tory. And Kelsey's bodyguard even confirmed she confessed to the shooting. But somehow, none of that made it to major headlines. Ask yourself why. This whole thing feels like a setup. And if Fetty Wap, another artist blackballed after his peak, is seeing all this from inside and calling for change, then maybe this whole mess is bigger than both of them. Now, if we're gonna be real, Fetty Wap's prison drop wasn't just a flex, it was a coded message. From the mention of a presidential pardon to the sudden comeback energy, Fetty's telling us he got insight most of us overlooking. Remember, Fetty been in federal for a major trafficking charge. He's seen the prison system from the inside. He know what political silence feels like. And the fact that he's speaking up now, right when Tory's getting silenced, that ain't no coincidence. Let's zoom out. Fetty Wap and Tory Lanez got a few things in common. Both had rapid mainstream success, fall out with the same system that once praised them. Both are now locked up under suspicious narratives, with Fetty trying to reclaim his name, and Tory getting dragged deeper into a setup. And both of their cases revolve around timing. Fetty gets locked when he's building a comeback. Tory gets stabbed right as new evidence comes out. Ain't no way that's all coincidence. Even in Fetty's case, you can clearly paint a picture of how the pandemic dried up his income. He got robbed by his own people, and the industry turned their back. That forced him into desperation. Now Tory, he lost his deals, couldn't see his kid, and the media crucified him before a trial even started. And Tory low-key said the same thing after his conviction, that he trusted the wrong people, that he thought clout could buy loyalty. Man, both these dudes realized too late that the music industry don't got no heart. Let's not forget, these ain't just two random cases. They're examples. Examples of what happens when black men in music try to own their masters, speak their truth, and dodge the puppet strings. Tory exposed the flaws in Megan's story and got stabbed. This ain't about guilt or innocence anymore. It's about control. And if Fetty Wap's prison call is anything, it's a final warning to other artists. If you don't play the game their way, you get erased. The way fans are reacting to all this proves one thing. People are waking up. Over 100K signatures demanding Tory's release in under 24 hours. That's not casual support. That's a movement. And it's not just Tory. Fetty's new drop got fans posting #Free Fetty across every platform. This ain't just about two rappers anymore. It's about the bigger picture. Social media is where truth cuts through the mainstream noise. While big blogs ignore the stabbing, X, YouTube, and Instagram blew up with clips, commentary, and conspiracies. Even influencers came forward, saying what a lot of people already suspected.
You think it got deep?
Nigga.
Now I ain't gonna lie, bro. He got hit,
like,
bro. I ain't gonna lie, bro. Tory cool.
14 times, bro, to the head.
Yeah.
Like they were trying to, he was trying to kill him. But I'm saying, why else would he be trying to kill him? Other than like, you know, somebody put that order in. Nigga.
So what's really going on here? Some say Tory's case was about silencing a man who found a way to win without them. Fetty's case, a warning for those who fall out of line. The bigger agenda seems clear. Keep artists dependent on the machine. And if you step outside the box, they don't just blacklist you. They bury you legally, financially, and sometimes physically. Now fans are demanding answers. Why didn't the prosecution test everyone's DNA? Why did Kelsey Harris plead the fifth when she wasn't even on trial? Why did Megan's people push for a closed-door case while the public got spoon-fed one side? Same story for Fetty. His prosecutors literally used his lyrics against him despite New York State passing a bill limiting that. And they called his old hits proof of glamorizing the trade, even when he hadn't been arrested yet. That's not justice, that's agenda pushing. But even behind bars, both these men still moving. Fetty's sending bars. Tory's father said his son's condition after the stabbing is improving and he's still fighting for freedom.
And I quote, "Dad, I thought it was my last. And having made my peace with God, I said, okay, God, is this how it's supposed to end for me?" But God said no. God told him, do not give up.
Y'all, this is spiritual warfare just as much as it is legal. The system trying to make examples out of these two. But the fans, we ain't going. The more they try to silence them, the louder the people get. Free Tory Lanez, free Fetty Wap. So what's next? Let's start with Fetty Wap. His legal team is quietly making moves behind the scenes, reportedly building a case for a presidential pardon. With Trump now back in office and known for granting surprise clemencies in the past, including high-profile names like Kodak Black and Lil Wayne, the door might just be cracked open for Fetty. But this ain't just about politics or PR. Fetty's showing real growth, remorse, accountability, and a renewed focus on music. He's not asking for sympathy. He's proving he's changed. His recent interview in XXL made that crystal clear. Meanwhile, Tory Lanez's lawyers aren't backing down. They're actively pushing to reopen his case with the pile of new evidence. Unite the People is right there with them, calling out the mishandling of the trial and demanding Governor Gavin Newsom act fast. The petition, still gaining thousands of signatures. Every day, people who once doubted Tory are now joining the fight. But let's be real, this goes far beyond just Fetty and Tory. This is a moment, a cultural shift, a clear sign that fans are done with one-sided narratives and the music industry's hidden agendas. Independent artists are winning without gatekeepers. Truth is starting to cut through the noise. And the people, they're paying attention. We could be on the edge of something bigger. A redefinition of how artists take control of their careers. A legal reckoning for how black men are treated in high-profile trials. And maybe, just maybe, the first steps toward real accountability for the systems that tried to bury them. Tory Lanez is healing. Fetty Wap is focused. The fans are louder than ever. This ain't the end. This is the beginning. Don't let this story fade away. Hit that like button. Drop a comment with your thoughts and subscribe for more deep dives into the truth they don't want you to know.